Did I hate some parts of this book? Yes. Hello friends, welcome back to my channel. My name is Reagan, and in today's video we are going to be doing followers blindly choose my reads for the week. I am absolutely so excited about this. I have been wanting to do this for a while, and so I already put up the first poll last night, so I'm gonna go ahead and check the results, but let me tell you guys what books we had behind the emojis. So the top book that had like little fire heart and the like video game controller is Game On by Ceresia Glass. I hope that I am pronouncing that name right. Sorry if I'm not, but this is a very fun video game romance. So it's between a very popular streamer and then a game developer. So this sounded really up my alley and really fun. I definitely wanted a fluffy contemporary romance. So this was that choice. And then the next choice with the like engagement ring and the wedding chapel and the wedding dress was The Worst Best Man by Mia Sosa. This has been on my radar for literal years, like genuinely since 2020. Noelle Gallagher posted about this book and was talking about how she read this book and that she enjoyed it. I think ever since then I have been wanting to read this book. So I definitely put this one on the radar. So let me go check the poll and see what you guys chose. I'm excited to see. I feel like this is gonna win, but I'm kind of hoping that this might win. I don't know. I'm very fine with either of them, but I feel like this one's going to be the winner. Alrighty, so at the time of filming this, The Worst Best Man is in the lead with 63%, and then Game On with 37%. Almost like over 200 of you guys voted for The Worst Best Man. So I guess that is what we will be reading first. I'm so excited that I have a contemporary romance, and I'm so excited that this is going to be coming off of my TBR. And yeah, I'm excited to see how you guys participate in my reads this week and what you guys end up choosing. So without further ado, let's start this book, and I will update you when I get farther into The Worst Best Man. Besties, I have a little bit of an update for you. I am 63 pages into The Worst Best Man. I am on chapter 7, I believe, and I kind of understand like what's going on, where this plot is taking us. So we have Lena, who was left at the altar by her ex-fiance Andrew. Andrew let his brother Max deliver the news to Lena, and so she's pissed. Obviously. Lena is also a wedding planner, so she actually gets contacted by this person to join her team and be a wedding planner. And when she gets there, what does she see? She sees Andrew and Max, and she's like, what are you two doing here? This is very sus, and like, what's going on? And the woman who is hiring her is like, okay, this is part of the interview process. These two guys are part of our marketing team, and you need to work with them so that I can see everyone's skills and so that that can complete your interview process. So that is kind of where we are. That is kind of the gist of this book. I will say I'm not 100% into it yet. I feel like it's still setting up. It hasn't really gripped me yet, but that could definitely change. I don't know, but I like Lena as a main character. Max is like kind of stale right now. Like he's just giving me some stale vibes. Do you know what I mean? That is the update. I just wanted to give a quick update and give a synopsis because I realized that I did not even tell you guys what this book was about. And that's because I didn't really know myself. Now you know, now I know, and now we can get farther into this book. That is all that I have for you right now, and I will update you guys in a bit. Alrighty friends, it is the next day. Honestly, I just ended up finishing this book yesterday because I did not enjoy my time with it at all. I ended up like trying to listen to half of it on audio, and then I just finished the rest of it because I wanted to see how it ended, but I did not enjoy my time reading it at all. This is like a 2 or 3 star book. The only redeeming quality was Lena and her sharing like her culture and her background because she is Brazilian, and I just loved like learning more about the traditional Brazilian food she was eating. It made me so hungry. So that is like my redeeming quality. I loved Lena as a character, and I liked learning more about her. However, hated the romance. I just didn't believe it. Like I didn't believe that they liked each other. I didn't feel any sort of tension. Max was still stale. Like he never got more interesting. I did not really like him as a love interest. I just really didn't buy into the story, and also halfway through before we even got anything, and I am a slow burn person, but for some reason reason, like with this contemporary romance, we are 50% in and there's nothing happening and I just don't really care about the storyline. Therefore, I'm not having a good time and I just don't really care when they did get together. That was just my main thing, is that I just didn't really care about this book. So it was just not for me, which is okay. So I ended up putting 2 books on my poll last night and I haven't checked it yet because I put the poll up like right before I went to sleep and then haven't checked it since. So I'm ready to just put this behind us and start our new book. The one on the left that you see with the swords and the crown, that book is Trials of the Sun Queen by Nisha J. Tooley. This has been on my radar for a long time. I've heard that it's kind of like the Selection but make it spicier, which I loved the Selection back in the day. It's like one of my favorite series. It's so much fun. And this is kind of the same vibes. So we have 10 women, a deadly contest, and only one can win the Sun King's heart. So a fantasy romance. I put a fantasy romance on the list just because I am back in my fantasy era. Every time I stray away to a contemporary romance, I find myself going back to fantasy romance because that is just my bread and butter. I also decided to put a more like emotional romance, I think, and that is the one with the sun and the shell and the waves, and that is The Infinity Between Us by N.S. Perkins. This is giving me the summer I turned pretty vibes, and that is something that like I'm craving right now. I loved this era last summer when we had the summer I turned pretty. I put that book on the list. That book is on my Kindle. It's on Kindle Unlimited. I am going to check the poll really quick and I will see what you guys decided. Let's see. So at the time of filming this, oh my gosh, it's so close. It is 59% Trial of the Sun Queen and 41% The Infinity Between Us. Oh my gosh, the votes are so close. So I think this one will be really fun. I'm excited to go back into my fantasy romance era. We love her. She hasn't left. I will be starting Trial of the Sun Queen today. I am so excited. I haven't seen a ton of people talk about this, so I'm excited to see like what I think about it because I've never read anything from this author before. And like I said, I loved the Selection. So I will get started on this today. I have kind of a busy day, so we will see how much I can get read today, but wanted to update you guys. This is also on my Kindle, I believe. So I'm going to be kind of tandem reading between the Kindle and the physical copy. So I'm excited for this one. I'm excited that you guys chose this one, and let's get on into it. Okay, we are back with an update. I honestly haven't read much of this book because I've just been so much busier than I thought that I would be, but today is Thursday. I know that like we missed a few days, but today is Thursday and then this weekend I have nothing else to do. So I am determined to finish this book. I am now 25% in. I'm like 100 pages in, I want to say. I feel like I know a little bit more of the background of like what's happening, what's going on, what our main character is here for. So we have Lore. She is mortal from what I know, and she has been imprisoned in this place called Nostraza. We don't exactly know why she has been imprisoned. We just know that she has been there for like 12 years and that it has been quite literally hell. All she can think about is how she's going to make these people pay for what they have done to her because it has just been so absolutely brutal. She is sent to this place called the Hollow. So she like got in trouble. She was sent to the Hollow, which is like a really bad place. She did not want to go there. She was kicking and screaming to not go, but she was sent there for 2 weeks, and in the middle of this, she is then picked up off of the ground of this like prison floor, and we don't know by who, and she is taken to the Sun Palace, which is where all these trials are happening. And then obviously the Sun King is there as well, so she is like transported to this place, and we find out that she is now labeled the final tribute. So she is like, what the hell's going on? She has no idea what's happening. She is so confused as to why she's there. The people in this palace are like, you're the final tribute. To be honest, the final tribute hasn't survived in like a very long number of years. She is terrified, but she is very determined to win and survive this tournament because she can win a lot of money and a lot of power, and then that way she can get her friends out of Nostraza, and she has the resources then to make all of those people pay for what they did to her. that is where we're at. That is where we're setting up. The trials are about to start. I am very excited to see what these trials entail. I am still a little bit confused about the world building and the setup, and I'm not 100% understanding their powers. Sun King and like this court are high fae. So we do have high fae in this land, and we do have like imperial fae. So that's kind of all I know. But apparently our main girly is mortal, or so I think. That is kind of where we're at. Like I said, we're about 25% in, so I will update you guys at the 50% mark, and then obviously when we finish. But just know I am determined to finish this book. It has just taken me a little bit longer than I thought, which is okay. We have now finished Trial of the Sun Queen by Nisha J. Tooley, and I have some thoughts for sure, so I thought that we could make this a little bit of a cozy chat. It is cold and rainy outside again here, so I wanted to have a little bit of some cozy time with you guys and chat about what we think about this book, because I honestly don't know. I'm going to put the picture of the book on the screen because honestly I don't want to hold it, and this nice warm glass of tea is keeping me warm, and I don't want to hold up the book. But I don't want to give any spoilers to this book, so I definitely will not be talking fully in depth, but I also wanted to give you guys more of a synopsis about what this book is about, what's going on in this book, because the last update that I think I gave you guys, I gave you a little bit of a hint of what was going on, but I honestly didn't fully understand either. And now I feel like I know a little bit more, so let's talk about it. Last time I left you guys off, they were about to start the trials, which obviously they've done the trials. They weren't as exciting as I was hoping that they would be. I don't know, it just lacked a little bit for me, and they weren't as exciting as I was hoping, but we also do get a POV in this book that I don't want to discuss because I feel like that's a semi-spoiler, but the POV that we get in this book, I was so confused as to why we had this POV, to be quite honest. I honestly didn't fully understand why we had that POV. Like, the ending of the book, it does make sense, but for a majority of the book, having this dual POV, I was definitely confused. The writing style was just not really my favorite. It really felt kind of choppy, if that makes sense. Like, some of the sentence structure and just the plot structure even just felt a little bit choppy to me. I don't know how I feel about that part. It just definitely was not my favorite. Tell me why I kind of felt like this was a ripoff of Throne of Glass. Majority of this book feels just like Throne of Glass. There are definitely some things that are different, but didn't really love that. I think I'm going to land on a 3-star rating for this book. It was very like middle of the road. It was average. Did I enjoy some parts of this book? Yes. Did I hate some parts of this book? Yes. Because of that, I feel like that is just an average middle of the road for me. I will say that how this book ended off, I will definitely read the next book just because I'm curious to see what else happens in the next book. But we have our main character, Lore, and she is very pick-me at points. Like, I didn't absolutely love her character. I did enjoy some of the like side characters and some of the other tributes that were competing in the trials. I did enjoy a lot of their character storylines. I know that it's a first book and we're setting up, but at the same time, I feel like it just lacked a lot of the depth that I would have liked to see from the story because the premise is really interesting. I just don't know if it was done well. Wasn't my favorite by any means, but also wasn't terrible. But yeah, so there's a lot of like secrets that unfold. There's kind of a plot twist at the end that you can kind of guess, but it also still leaves you on a cliffhanger for the next book, which I really enjoyed, which is why I say that I will probably continue with the second book. I do think that there are definitely better fantasy romances out there. This book did not have a ton of romance in it. To be honest, there was no really big romantic plot line. I'm also intrigued to see how that happens in the second book because I have an inkling about who the love interest is going to be, but I'm not 100% sure. It was just very to me. I also don't feel like I'm doing a very good job at explaining what this book is about because I don't want to give too much away, and it's a fairly short book, so I don't want to give like too much of the plot away because if you're interested in reading this, I feel like you should just go into it blind. There were definitely some things that I wish were more developed and more explained. Like I said, it was still like interesting. It still grasped my attention even though it really did feel like Throne of Glass again. It did have some things that reminded me of the selection. I wouldn't say that I would compare it to the selection by any means, but I did enjoy my time with it. Wasn't my favorite? No. Could it have been better? Yes. that's kind of where I'm at. I don't know, that wasn't super interesting, but that's kind of all I've got to go on without discussing spoilers. So that's where we're at. We're gonna end on a 3-star with this book. So I wanted to kind of end that vlog here. I thought we were going to be able to fit in one more book this week, but I just am not going to have the time to finish another book. So these 2 books are kind of wrapping up this vlog. I did have a really fun week though, and I really want to do this again because it was really fun having you guys pick my reads, because it's interesting to see what you guys go off of based off of emojis and like what sounds interesting to you. So I really love this idea, and I will definitely be doing it again because it was super fun for me. Even though we didn't get a 5-star, that's okay. I still enjoyed my week and I still enjoyed my time, and I am glad that you guys were able to participate, and I hope that you guys enjoyed this vlog. We are ending this vlog on The Worst Best Man by Mia Sosa being a 2.5-star read and Trial of the Sun Queen being 3 stars. So obviously I liked Trial of the Sun Queen better than the first book because of course it was a fantasy romance and I loved it so much more. There were still 2 books that were physically on my TBR and that I was able to get off of the TBR. So I'm gonna count that as a win. I'm also gonna count it as a win that we got a 3-star. It could have been worse, could have been better, but I just want to thank you guys so much for watching today's video and for enjoying this week's vlog. I also want to say a huge thank you to you guys that we reached 1K subscribers here. That happened on Tuesday, or no, that happened on Valentine's Day this week, so on Wednesday. And I was just absolutely not expecting that. I was very blown away by the support that you guys always give me, like I always say. And I just cannot believe that we have 1,000 of you guys here. Thank you again for 1K on this channel, and thank you guys for watching and participating in this video and in my reads. I will have my Goodreads and my Instagram linked down below, and you can go follow me on there. And I am moving soon, so look out for a possible bookshelf tour. I really hope that you guys enjoy being here. I enjoy having you, and I will see you guys in the next video. All right, bye.